Hello. Welcome to the Keep It Cute Show. I'm Sabrina.
I'm Dakia, and today we are welcoming our girl, Miss Libba. She is from Ready to Love DC. She's a professor, a fashionista, a mother, and she's a cancer survivor. So we're going to talk about your journey today. We're going to talk about you first.
Okay.
But we're going to talk about your journey through health and love and life.
Yes.
And where you are today.
But let's talk about it though, because you were on the show, searching for love. So let the audience know where you're at now in your love journey. What's going on with Libba in that arena?
Well, can we start a little bit of why I went on Ready to Love?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, first of all, I was obsessed with the show. Like, I've always watched this show, and I always said, listen, if they ever come to DC and I'm single, I'm signing up. Mm-hmm. And so I had encountered a breakup, and it just seemed like divine intervention. It was like, it's time, Libba.
Come on, hit the note.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, girl.
So I ended up going on Ready to Love, and I figured that if my love wasn't there, he was going to be watching.
I said the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I was like, somebody's mama, grandmama, auntie going to be like, you know what? I like that girl, Libba. You should hit her up. You know? So that was the reason why I went on Ready to Love. Yeah. Not necessarily thinking that I was going to find my forever there.
Out of those 10 men.
Out of those 10. But definitely someone was going to be watching.
And prior to this, I'm assuming that you've done like other dating things too, like the apps or other things, or no? It was just from like, talk to us about like what led to the show.
So prior to, I was in a relationship. I'm a relationship girl.
Me too.
So, but don't get it twisted. I had some fun in between relationships.
Come on, hey.
But I ain't gonna lie, I'm grown. We've been grown in my 40s, honey. So I can do what I want to do.
Right.
I pay taxes. So
401ks and everything, all right?
Okay. So, but I never really had to do the apps.
Yeah.
I never really had to pursue people. It just happened organically. Mm-hmm. I tried an app once, and I felt like I was objectifying men, if that makes sense. Like, I did not like the thought process of me looking on these apps and like, oh, he's 5'7", he's too short, he's too this, he's too that, like he's too far. I just did not like that feeling.
Interesting.
At all.
I never heard that perspective. I know my finger was going left.
I didn't like it. I just felt like I was objectifying them. I was judging them based off of their pictures, their profile, me thinking like, yo, he looked like his breath stink. Like I just felt so shallow in that process that it didn't last long for me.
I really appreciate you saying that, because objectification is something that women talk about a lot. Like, you know, the inverse of that, of like men objectifying us. So it's like, I love the way that you were talking about that from a woman's perspective, and how you're like, I'm not subscribing to that. That's really powerful.
Thank you.
You know,
I just didn't
always
feel
think
right.
about it the other way.
Yeah, I didn't like my process and the thoughts that I was having based off of these people who were seeking love or whatever else that they were seeking. You know what I mean? And so for that, I was like, this is not for me. I have a lot of energy. You know, I enjoy interacting, whether it's text or phone call or what have you. And I just felt like it was just too much fallacy with that as well on the app. So I just opted not to do it. Yeah, but I mean, I'll be at the grocery store looking busted, you know, and
they always find you when you feel like
you're
looking the worst.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, you talking to me? Like, oh no. But yeah, so that hasn't necessarily been so much of an issue for me. But I also felt like I was at a point in my life in where I was ready for love, you know, and that I was worthy of it. I know that I am a very loving and caring woman, and there is nothing more beautiful to me than the Black man, in particular my Black man, but we can talk about him later. But I love supporting us. And I'm not necessarily saying I'm against anything else, but I'm just saying for Libba, I know that I am a great support to that Black man. I know everything about, not everything, but I know a lot about Black men, and I know that they need support.
And you raised a Black man.
Yeah, my son will be 25 in May.
Exactly. You have a 25-year-old son.
I didn't know he was 25 now.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he'll be 25 in May. So,
wow.
Yeah. So
that's amazing.
And that's the other thing is that it's important for me to be a positive influence for my son and to see what Black love should look like, opposed to what it doesn't look like. You know what I mean? And so I was just ready. I knew it was time, and I knew that I did all the healing that I needed to do. And the funny thing is that after the show, so first of all, let's go back to the show. The day of the mixer, I think I was there not even 15, 20 minutes. And I was like, oh, my man's not here.
Because, girl, we knew from the beginning.
From the very beginning.
We know. But they were trying to tell you, date outside your comfort zone. Yeah. Date different people.
We need to talk about that more. Because I think that with the show, albeit well-intended, I guess, we look at each other like, what's it gonna say? Because I'm pretty sure we're going to be like, that's what I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. But what I will say is that I appreciate all the men that were on my season. And we are all, for the most part, very close. Like, we consider each other family. But I knew within 15, 20 minutes, he is not here. That's a player. He's too young. Like, I don't have no chemistry with him. And so for that, I just kind of recluded. And I disappeared. I ran away from the camera. Like, I just did not want to be there.
It's a lot that first day with all those cameras in your face, all the people there, and you're trying to be natural yourself. But it's like, this is not a natural experience.
And I felt really bad for y'all because we filmed at the end of summer, but y'all were filming in the middle of summer outside. Listen. So I was like, damn, if we're going through this.
We were sweating, so I know y'all were.
It was going through it. Yeah, it was hot. And that's the thing, like, they had this mixer and they had all this food in the backyard, uncovered.
Oh, y'all had food?
Oh, we didn't have food. We had little bites of stuff.
We had bites. Well, the flies had food. Okay. We didn't eat that. But I'm just saying, like, there were certain things that you think about, like, oh, this could have been executed a little bit better, or, well thought out. But long story short, I was just ready to go. And I did not want to be the first woman to self-eliminate on, the first episode. But I literally was thinking that because you think about how hard that process was to get there.
Yes.
All those steps you had to go through.
All the psych evaluations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you getting ready with your wardrobe and getting all excited and stuff. So I was like, I can't quit this just yet. But I knew from the moment, 15 minutes, and not that I gave up on anybody, but I was also one of the oldest women. So at the time I was 45, and I told you my son is 25. So back then he was 23. No one had babies. No one was thinking about that at that point. So I was like, this is definitely a mixed match.
Well, some of them had babies, right?
Some of them had several babies.
Who? Okay.
Some people had more babies than they said they had.
Babies.
Oh, sure. Okay. So for the most part, the day that I was there, yeah, I didn't know. Yeah. But I'm just saying. But some of them. But as a woman who is established, whose son is out of the house, I was not trying to start all over.
Right. Yeah. And that's fair.
Yeah. So But then the interesting thing is that when the show started having promos and stuff. One of my ex-boyfriends, I can't even say ex-boyfriends, somebody I dated, we had started just talking, and he was like, Libba, why are you on that whack-ass show? And I was like, what's up? What you trying to do?
Right.
So we ended up spinning the block and ended up back together. So we're going pretty strong, and I'm so
this is
grateful.
The same.
Oh, I didn't know it was Rekindling.
It is.
Oh, wow.
So you guys rekindled like as soon as the show went off.
So we dated well over 10 years ago.
Okay.
And then we stayed in touch during that time period. I would reach out to him asking him about other men, his opinions. I totally friend zoned him. Totally friend zoned him. Because at one point I knew that neither one of us were ready for a relationship. You know what I mean?
At that time.
And so we just remained friends. And he's seen the good, the bad, the ugly of me, and likewise. And so that was very helpful in terms of developing that trust because it was already built in. You know what I mean? He was a confidant. So God does all things well. You know, he really, really does.
And in his own timing.
In his own timing.
So you spun the block.
Yeah.
And it worked out. Because it don't work out for a lot of people.
Girl, and I would never. Like, there's some guys I did. Never will you ever. I will listen. You
they
blocked,
were exes for a reason,
to do with you.
Yeah,
you know.
right.
But and I'm not that type of person that has ill will towards anyone. It's just that chapter is over. There's no use in us revisiting it.
Right.
We're good. You know.
So what do you think changed for you or him that made this rekindling work?
I would say maturity, and also just life. You know, you come across just different lights and just energies, and I can't deny it. I thought about him over the years, like wondering how he was doing, but I was too stubborn to reach out. I was like, "Yo, if he want to talk to me, he can call me."
My number ain't changed.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just a mutual respect. And I really love his family. His family loves me. My mom and my best friend loves him. And so it's just something very special there, you know, and that level of friendship. I mean, we laugh like crazy. We have so much fun. Aww. You know, we giggle a lot. And we have a lot of the same things that we enjoy doing. Music is our love language, you know, and so... yeah, it's good. It's good.
That's wonderful.
But I will say, this grown love, ooh, it's something about a grown-ass love opposed to when you're in your 30s or your 20s. It's something about this mature love, being over the age of 40, and knowing that you found your person. It's a sense of comfort and an understanding that I've never had before. You know,
I love that.
Thank you.
A grown ass love. I like
it's
that.
It's some grown ass love, honey. Let's cheers to that.
Cheers to grown ass
Cheers
love.
to grown ass love.
Yes.
Doing grown
Come on.
things.
Okay.
Okay, I got one question I got to circle back to.
Sure.
You said you confided in this man as you were dating other men during your friend zone.
I did.
So how did that impact your relationship now? You know what I'm saying? Is he like, girl, I know you because you was acting like, does those things ever come up?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like, I'm assuming that you shared some details or shared some facts with him that the typical boyfriend or whoever wouldn't be privy to.
Well, it's a couple of things. You have to think about it as a friend approach. So it wasn't like I wouldn't give details like I would to a girlfriend, but I would go to him for counsel and say, what does this mean? Or
from a male's perspective.
From a male's perspective, what does this mean? Or how should I move? Or does this mean he's not interested in me? Like, I just don't know what's going on, you know? And so he would give advice in that way. And same thing, like raising a son, I'm not a man, you know, I need a male's point of view. Even outside of his father sometimes, you know, because when you're in it, you don't necessarily see other things that people see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so with that being said, I would reach out to him for counsel. And same thing for me. Like we would just call one another to get advice, and it just worked out in our favor. So, and again, he knows the good, the bad, and ugly of me. And likewise, like I never really felt so judged, but more of him really being interested in me, you know? So.
What's your favorite thing about him?
Oh, God. My favorite. He is by far the sweetest, kindest person. And I love the way that he loves, period. Not just me. But I love the way that he loves.
That's important because how a man treats not only you, but the people around him, you know, it shows a lot about them. So the way that he loves, I love that you recognize that in him.
Yeah, and he's such a safe space for me. You know, he's such a safe place. And that is important. You know, oftentimes as women, we look for protection. Right. But what we miss is that safety. You know,
not just physical safety, emotional safety, spiritual safety, mental safety. Like, do I feel safe being vulnerable with my good, my bad, and my ugly?
Yeah, and I make it an effort to ensure that I am a safe space for him. Right. Period. You know, like I look forward to when he comes home, and I know that he looks forward to coming home to me. You know what I mean? Like I'll do stuff just to make sure that I don't care if it's something special for him to eat or whatever else, but we do things to ensure that we're thinking about one another throughout the day. And
Walt and I call that spoiling each other.
Yeah, we deserve it though. You know what I mean? Like I think that oftentimes I'm a giver, and I am also an empath. And so with that, in a nurturer, I typically give my all. And oftentimes people will take my energy. And it's okay because I got plenty of it. But it's good when other people replenishes you. And you don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? And it's even better when you do know it. And so... yeah, he's such a safe space, and I know he's gonna be like, "Why the hell are you talking about me?" But I love you, baby.
Aww. And you guys are so cute together. I saw you guys at your birthday party a while ago, and yes,
thank
so cute.
you. That is, I mean, it is again so much fun. It's just nice to have your person around, you know? And honestly, I know I was watching one of your episodes and you were like, don't be that girlfriend and leave all your friends behind. Sometimes I just want to be with him. Like, I don't want to talk to nobody. I just want to be curled up on the couch watching, like, you know, a Netflix something or other, you know? I just...
Be clear, that is my favorite thing to do.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But sometimes that's what you want to do. Like, you just don't feel like you just don't. You just want to be home, and you know, you appreciate. I think the right person also will help you appreciate the simple things in life.
Yeah, they make the simple things special.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Every day feels like an adventure, and you ain't even left the house. Do you know what I mean? Because you're with that person.
Yeah,
I know exactly
you
what you
that,
mean.
Right? It's like you don't have to do anything. Like I could scramble some eggs. He'll be like, "Baby, this is the best eggs." I'm like, they good, baby.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I love it. And they're stirring it up too, y'all. Just stirring it up.
And then you know what I mean? You be like,
my aunt was like, whenever you in the kitchen, baby, and you stirring the pot, you make sure you stir that pot.
Okay, let me cheers to that. Thank you, Auntie, for that.
You stir that pot, girl.
I'm going to be rolling my body, Auntie.
You got to stir it up a little bit. You know? Have it smelling good, looking good.
Oh my God. So I do want to talk about that a little bit too, as we segue into why you're here, right?
Sure,
you know, so I definitely want to talk about breast cancer because, you know, you're a survivor, a strong example of that. You are a survivor of cancer. My grandmother was a breast cancer survivor and my mother is a breast cancer survivor. Yeah. Okay. So, you know, it's something that's very near and dear to my heart. You know, I have a sister. We're thinking about it because, you know, of that piece of it. And so I'd love to talk to you a little bit more about being in a relationship as you're navigating that.
So let's start with how I found out.
Yeah,
we can
I would love that.
Yeah. So it started over 10 years ago where it was wintertime. I had on a cute little jacket and a sweater. And you know, sometimes you're a little too bunched. And I felt something and I thought it was my the underwire of my bra and poking me. But I was like, what is that feeling? Right? So I went home and I did an exam and I felt some lumps, right? So I was like, okay. Now it just so happened that I was about to quit this job that I hated at the time. Okay. I was literally about to quit this job like the next week. And I was like, no, I can't quit now. Let me go get this checked out real quick.
I need that insurance.
Okay, can't do that.
Need that insurance.
So I ended up going to the doctor and she said, Libba, you need a diagnostic mammogram. That's not like a regular mammogram, but it's a little bit more, it's detailed and it'll tell the picture better. So I went to the radiologist to get this mammogram. I was there 4 hours.
Wow.
Now, if you know anything about going like to radiology, you're usually there 1 hour, 2 hours max. The fact that I was there 4 hours, I was like, this ain't right. Something's not right. They weren't busy or anything like that. I knew it was about me. And so finally they came out and they said, I want to show you your mammogram. They said, now listen, women typically have what they call calcifications. And on a mammogram, a calcification will look like little dots, right? He was like, a lot of women have it. It's very common. He said, but the issue is when those dots turn into a cluster, it's an indicator that you could potentially have breast cancer. So he told me that before showing me my mammogram. I looked at it and I saw a cluster. And I was thinking, oh shit, I got cancer. So then I had like a series of biopsies and I had what they called, I had precancerous cells, so LCIS. So back then, they still kind of classified it as stage 0. LCIS, DCIS is definitely when it's like inside of your breast. It hasn't moved outside of the breast tissue yet. Okay, so that's stage 0. So ended up getting a lumpectomy in my left breast on 2 different sides, and was fine. Like, I didn't need radiation, I didn't need chemo or anything like that. And I continued to live a healthy life. And then fast forward to last November, and I woke up.
This is 2023?
Yeah, 2023. Last November. No.
Oh, 2022.
My bad.
Okay.
November 2022. I woke up and I felt a lump. It felt like, did y'all used to eat?
This is another lump.
Yep, same breast. Alexander the grapes. Y'all used to eat those cherry clans. Yeah. Candies, little jawbreakers.
Just you.
Jawbreakers, I know.
Y'all little
jawbreakers,
y'all,
I know.
I thought you were from here.
I am from here. I'm just no, I'm very particular about what I eat, what candy and stuff like that. I just was eating.
Somebody in the audience know about cherry clans and Alexander the grapes. Anyhow, it felt like a hard piece of candy or like a marble inside of my breast. I went to my doctor. I said, I want a diagnostic mammogram. She's like, Libba, it's probably just fibrous tissue. I said, whatever, doc. Give me that. Run me that.
Yeah, you gotta really advocate for yourself.
And so I went in, and sure enough, you guys, this time, so before I had a small little cluster. This time it looked like the damn universe. I had clusters here, clusters there, clusters everywhere. And at the time they were saying like, well, perhaps we'll get a lumpectomy to remove it. Now, something you all need to know about breast. There are different levels of density, 0 to 4. Oftentimes 0 is good, 2 is good, even 2 is good. But if you're in the 4 range, what that means is that when you look at a mammogram, it can be all white,
harder to see,
and it's harder to see, right?
And they say that African American women are more likely to have dense breasts. I have dense breasts,
yes, and it's harder to detect anything, right? And so, with that being said, my doctor said, well, Libba, we probably need to do a lumpectomy, but the fact that you have it in multiple places, you will need a mastectomy. So mine was supposed to be preventative. I had literally 4 different biopsies. I had a series of tests, and then finally we concluded we're going to do a double mastectomy. I said double because I was like, she said my right breast was healthy. I said, listen, I am in my 40s. Ain't no way I'm going to get a brand new tire in this one and then air is coming out in this one. Right. Like, we need to.
Right.
Okay. We're going to balance these things up.
Right.
We ain't doing that.
Right.
Like, if I was young, maybe, but no.
Yeah, we should do the one side, we need to do
but
the other.
They perched, honey. They say no now.
Thank you. So anyhow, ended up getting the double mastectomy, and then a week later, I found out that I had stage 1 cancer in my left breast, and I had stage 0 in my right breast, which they thought was healthy. So I made the right decision in terms of getting a double mastectomy. But throughout this process, I developed what I call my titty committee, which is my closest friend, like my mom, my best friend, my man, and me. Like, we were on.
Titty committee.
We wrote a text chain, and we set it up so that I was taken care of. I had a schedule for when I got out of the hospital. We had a schedule for when I needed appointments. We had come up with like a registry of things that I needed. So essentially what I did was we made sure that I had the support that I needed, and ensuring that I had transportation, that I had food, and that I was well taken care of. But what doctors don't know and what they don't necessarily talk about is how tough the recovery process is.
Yes.
Because, it's very easy for them. First of all, I had a double mastectomy and I was released the same day.
Wow.
That's an outpatient surgery?
It's an outpatient surgery.
My cancer surgery was outpatient as well. I got released the same day.
Same day.
I wonder if there's a gendered role in some of that. Like,
yeah, I thought that because my cancer, I had cervical cancer. So for my surgery, they were able to just cut. It was localized. It was just the side of my cervix. So they were able to cut literally cut a portion of my cervix out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was released the same day. But I would think that for your double mastectomy, that they would keep you.
So no, it's the insurance companies.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's a gender thing. I think it's just the insurance companies. Even when women have babies, back in the day, you would be in the hospital for at least 3 days.
Yeah.
Now it's like a day. If you have a C-section, it's less than 5 days. So, but with that being said, some things that women need to know, especially if they have a double mastectomy, I was not allowed to use my arms for at least 3 months.
Oh my goodness.
So I wasn't allowed. And when I say not use my arms, I can't cook. I can't write. Anything repetitive, you can't do because it messes up your lymphatic system and you continue to swell. I have lymphedema till this day and I'm going through physical therapy. But with that being said, you can't do anything and you're in a lot of pain. You can't cook. You can't do hardly anything. You have to stay still and heal. And that is very taxing.
Mentally as well.
Mentally is taxing. And I have to be honest, I went through a period where I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. My feelings were hurt. Like I was trying to figure out, like, how did I end up with cancer in the first place? It's not genetic for me. I went through genetic testing as well. And so it's very taxing on your body. And I'm an older woman. And I do believe because of my age, it took me a while to bounce back. Ordinarily, I would bounce right back. But months later, I'm still very much exhausted, very much in a lot of pain. And so it takes a lot. It's a major toll. But throughout this process, I really have been trying to maintain my positivity. I showed up fabulous to get my double mastectomy. I showed up in a gown.
Yes, I saw that. I
loved
it.
Because what I was not going to do is feel sorry for myself in the process. I am my biggest cheerleader. I have to coach myself on, like, come on, let's go, Lib. You got this, And so I really think that me maintaining a positive attitude and being grateful that
absolutely.
I have such a great team around me and that I caught it early and that I'm living. I am here. There are so many women who have it way worse than I do. And I just want to educate women and letting them know that here are some of the things that you need to look out for. Get those mammograms. If something doesn't feel right, if you're thinking something is wrong, assume that it is and get it checked out. Especially if you have insurance.
Yeah.
Isn't it the case where, like, you are supposed to start doing it at the age of 40. Right? But, like, I've been told, especially because I'm someone, who's in my, it's genetics in my bloodline, that I should be getting it done even as early as now. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
But the doctors won't always prompt you to do that. So it's something you almost have to request is what I've been told, which kind of sucks, right?
It does. But it's also so important for you to be an advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that is one of the reasons why I'm on this other side, because I did not take my doctor's word for it. I said, keep going. I don't care what you say, lady. I want another test. And because of that, they were able to catch things. Because of that, they were able to catch that I had breast cancer in both. You know what I'm saying? She was trying to tell me, no, just get the one. That doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
And so you also have to be willing to challenge your doctors. It's okay.
Right. You are your best advocate.
You are your best advocate. And that's another thing, and that's not just for breast cancer, but we are at an age where our parents are older. We have to remind our parents to advocate for themselves as well. And we have to advocate for them too, But the other thing I wanted to mention, though, is that I say younger than 40. For women of color, Black women in particular, breast cancer is the most aggressive, especially if you're under the age of 40. And so, yes, they just lifted it so that you can start getting mammograms at the age of 40. But for Black women, we definitely need to, and especially if it's in our family, go ahead and request that.
Yeah.
You have to. You really, really have to. And it's scary, but it's better to know than to not know.
And it's so important you say that, because I was looking at some just stats around cancer, like leading into this conversation, and they were saying, while white women may be diagnosed or have a breast cancer incident, right, at a higher rate than Black women, which I never knew, right? I never heard that before. Black women are more likely to die from breast cancer. And there's multiple factors, that attribute to that, right? Like, late detection, lack of access to quality health care, structural racism, other health challenges or other, areas of things that may cause that. And so when I listen to your story, I hear so much of the things that you were able to do, right, that kind of like proves that it's really important.
Yeah.
It's really important. You stayed at that job that you wanted to leave because you wanted the healthcare.
I needed the healthcare.
You were checking yourself. You were like, hey, this doesn't feel right. Let me go to the doctor.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That early detection.
Yeah.
There's so much of that there.
And you have to rule that out.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Again, going back to Black women versus white women. First of all, cancer is awful. So, and we're not even going to try to, I'm not making this a racial thing, but the fact of the matter is that our bodies are different.
Yeah.
Cancer is more aggressive with us than white women. So they may have more alerts or what have you, but for us, it is something that is aggressive and it does not care. It will take you out.
Which is why it is so important for early detection.
Yes.
Same with your breast cancer, you were caught early. My cervical cancer caught early because I was getting pap smears. Like it wasn't a mammogram, but I was getting my pap smears regularly. And that one pap came back abnormal. They were like, all right, we're going to have to do some more testing, had some biopsies. Oh, shoot, you have cervical cancer.
Yeah. And here's the thing. So I talked about my calcifications, you guys. So what I felt was actually a regular cyst, like hormonal cyst.
Okay.
So thank God I listened to my body, because if I didn't know about this hormonal cyst, we would not have known about the calcifications. Calcifications cannot be detected.
Yeah, I was hearing that those lumps that usually are cancerous, they're not painful. They're typically not always. They're typically not painful. You know what I mean? So people aren't always in pain, and that leads them to go to the doctor.
Right.
Sorry, yeah.
So, but me feeling that little bump or that little lump, it prompted me to go to the doctor. The other thing that was happening with me was I had low energy all the time. I just thought that I was just working too hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would get low grade fevers that never went away. And I just did not understand, like, why the hell do I have a fever? I feel fine. So sometimes it's not even what you think that it would be. It could be something else where you just notice that things are a little bit off. And then you have to make sure that you notate that and let your doctors know, listen, this is what I'm encountering and I'm concerned.
Yeah. So after you had your mastectomy, what was the rest of your treatment like and your recovery like from there?
Yeah, I'm still in the throes of it. So, so after I had my double mastectomy, a week or like 10 days later, I found out that I did have cancer, stage 1 in my left breast. And so that meant that I had to get lymph nodes removed. So essentially what happens is that the way that breast cancer travels, it typically travels through your armpits. And so they wanted to make sure that my cancer had not traveled. Although I had stage 1, it still had the opportunity to travel elsewhere. And so I had to have surgery on my lymph nodes, and they removed one of my lymph nodes. But in removing a lymph node, that also compromised my health even further. So even till this day or moving forward, if I get blood pressure checked, I have to get it on my right arm and not my left arm. And even with that being said, I told you how you're immobile for a while. And I was sick for a while, like just, throwing up, just sick for like at least a couple of weeks. The first couple of days you're out, like you're just you're comatose. But after that, it's just like I had drains. I had to remove my drain, like the fluid from my drains. I had to go to the doctor. I've been to the doctor every week since May, you guys. Sometimes twice. I'm in physical therapy for my lymphedema. I'm taking acupuncture at this point. So there are things in which I'm trying to help manage my pain. And again, my range of motion is very limited in my arms, even months later. So I'm trying. And I mentioned to you all, sometimes I'm exhausted. Like cancer exhaustion or being tired is a lot different than any other thing. And it will sit you on your tail.
even afterwards, you know.
Even afterwards, yeah.
She had to undergo chemo.
Okay.
So it was a little bit different, but she was like, I'm just still so tired. You know what I mean? And this was like maybe 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's like a residual, I guess, impact of a lot of this as well.
It takes a while. And for me, so I'm very fortunate because they caught it early, and I have an estrogen fed cancer, meaning that I didn't need chemo, I don't need radiation. However, I'm taking tamoxifen, which is this hormone receptor that will block estrogen from that cancer to continue growing. So I have to be on that 5 years. I have to take pills every day.
She used to take that too.
Yeah. But again, I'm grateful because that's all that I have to do.
You didn't have to do chemo.
I didn't have to go through chemo.
And so that's interesting you say that because, you know, with my cancer, I didn't have to do chemo or radiation. And I always say I kind of have survivor's guilt a bit because it's like, I know that I had a hard time with my cancer, but I know that so many other people have a much harder time. Like, I didn't have to go through chemo. I didn't lose my hair. I didn't have to do radiation. So even when I say I'm a cancer survivor, it's like, yeah, you know, I am a cancer survivor, but I had it good, or I had it easier than most.
I understand that, but you had cancer.
Right.
So your journey and your story is your journey. And that doesn't make yours less than anybody else who had it. For me, I get that. I feel like I was fortunate. I call it the designer cancer because I have the cancer you want.
You got bougie cancer. I got bougie cancer too.
I got the cancer that you want. No, I hate to say that, but honestly, because I had a slow growing cancer that did not leave. So my doctor was saying the fact that I had a slow growing cancer that did not leave the site, that she felt like I've had cancer for between 3 to 5 years.
Wow.
And I didn't even know it. Do you hear me?
Wow.
That's what I'm saying, y'all. You have to check your bodies because here I am walking around ready to love, boo. I had cancer.
Wow.
Do you hear me? On the screen, cancer.
Yeah.
So you just never know. She said 3 to 5 years is probably how long I've had cancer. Would never have known that.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but with that being said, it's so important. I think we all feel guilty, cancer. And the other thing that people don't talk about, I am paranoid. I don't know about you, but for some things, I'm like, I don't know if this wine, I don't know how I got cancer. So now I don't eat my favorite things. No more bacon. No more I drink alcohol not as frequently, but there are certain things that I don't do. Deli meat, ham.
Same. So I've been at first when I got first diagnosed, the doctor recommended that I go vegan because the hormones that they're pumping these animals with were interfering with my hormones. So I cut out all meat. Ever since then, I'm pescatarian now, so I did introduce seafood, but I have not had meat in 12 years because I was diagnosed when I was 30. Yeah. They told me to cut out meat. I haven't had meat since then. It's been 12 years. So it's all these different life changes because, like you said, you don't know. Was it something that I ate? Yeah. Was it something that was my phone too close to my bed when I went to sleep?
Yeah.
You know, all those different things.
And it's scary. And it's like, because my immune system is compromised, like I did end up with COVID in September. I thought it was going to be way worse than it was, but that type of stuff will scare you because you're like, I don't know how my body is going to react to something like this.
When COVID came out, I was in the house. I didn't go nowhere. Yeah. I was paranoid because I know my white blood cell count is low. So it's like, you got to be really, really careful.
Exactly. And that's partly, I know I'm kind of jumping, but like I used to be a social butterfly, honey. Like I love people and people love me.
Yeah.
But I've been staying in the house, like I'm healing because it's like I can't take chances of being in group settings where it's like a lot of germs and you know, and the other part of it is that I get tired of talking about my cancer. You know, I get tired of people looking at me like, oh, I'm so sorry. Now it's sweet, it's kind, but when it's a lot of people all the time,
I am more than this.
This cancer does not define me, you know, and it's interesting because even with my social media, I was going to be like this big cancer advocate, and then after a while I was like, yo, do I really want to be the face for this? You know, I feel obligated teach women and give them, advice in terms of what to look out for, but this is not a title that I wanted to wear.
Right.
I'm proud that I was able to overcome it with a positive attitude, but I did not sign up for this. Right. And neither did my family,
I want to talk about that. So, circling back to my initial question of you're in a relationship. It's relatively new. You guys have known each other for a while. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you guys are rekindling. Yes. And then you get this news.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that transition. Talk to me about that.
That was hard. Because first of all, I am a strong person. I love, again, being independent and not necessarily relying on anybody. And that is probably like the most vulnerable that I've ever been.
Okay, so you couldn't even lift your arms. You can't do anything.
And on top of that, I am the nurturer. I'm the person to take care of people. So to all of a sudden have people take care of me, and in particular this man that I love, to see me with drains, you guys, he helped change my drains at times. Like, this is how I know what a beautiful person he is, because of how he was helping me with no regard and just being there without thinking about it twice, and I know that had to be hard to see. Especially, it's gruesome. Like, my bruises, my scar, it's ugly. It's nothing pretty about this. And that's the other part of it. Like, I'm proud of my boobs, but, I'm proud of them now. Right. But it's not a free boob job. Like, it's an amputation, literally.
Yeah.
It's an amputation.
That's major surgery.
It's major. They literally took all of my breast tissue.
And then you also talked about it a little bit about, how it affects Black women more. It's expensive, even with insurance. Like, I know that even though I had insurance, those hospital bills were expensive with the insurance.
Well, I will say this. Thank God for the state of Maryland. Because for the state of Maryland, when you're diagnosed with breast cancer, by law, they're required, if you want to get implants, you get them. You don't pay extra for them. There's certain things that...
Maryland.
Thank you for the state of Maryland. Right. So there are certain things, like, I will probably live here for the rest of my life because of all of the different benefits as a resident of Maryland that I received. And so some things I'm paying, thank goodness I have good insurance, but there are certain things that, like my tamoxifen, my medication, it's like $1,
Wow. That's great.
For 3 months, so again, oftentimes we don't take advantage of when we have health insurance. Yeah. If you have it, take advantage of it. There were times in which I did not have insurance and I did not go to the doctor, and I was going to patient first, You know what I mean? But if you have it, take advantage of those benefits because you just never know.
How did you learn about the Maryland program?
So I had my surgery at Arundel Medical Center, and with that they have a lot of resources there as well, where they notify you about your benefits. I did not know whether or not I would be covered because it was preventative initially. Usually preventative mastectomies are not necessarily fully covered, but because I was such high risk, that was the difference. So just finding out through my medical team.
That's amazing. Shout out to them to even put you in contact with that.
You just never know. And I'm a researcher, so that's the other part of it. When we talk about advocacy, it's very important for you to do your research, and look out more than one source. Because if not, then you're going to have a lot of questions, and you're going to, for me, I needed to know, like, information is wealth for me, but oftentimes some people are afraid to look and seek out information, but it can be a great sense of comfort once you know.
So during that time, like, how did you handle your emotional, mental, and spiritual health while you were going through that physical health challenge?
It ebbed and flowed. I can't even lie to you. Some days I would be super positive and grateful. Other days I would just allow myself to be sad. Sometimes you have to allow yourself to grieve.
I like that.
Your process.
Allow yourself.
Yeah, I allow
myself. You're human.
Myself.
You're not a robot.
Yeah. But it's hard when you're a bubbly person. That's the other thing. Like when you're a positive, bubbly person,
and people are used to seeing you that way.
Yes. And so you have to... I think I've forever changed I'm grateful for this experience because not only have I gotten a better understanding of Libba, and an appreciation for myself, but I've definitely tapped into being more spiritual. I'm more spiritual than I've ever been before. Meditation is something that I use on a daily basis, and I'm growing with it every day, and it really does make a difference for me. And so spiritually, I've grown. Mentally, I've grown. Physically, I'm getting there, but again, having that great sense of support and honestly talking about it helps out a lot. Like me doing my videos on TikTok and Instagram and things that nature. I've had so many women reach out to me and say, thank you. You're the reason why I got my mammogram, or thank you. I'm going through this right now and I don't know what to do. What can I do? And I'll be like, call me. Let's talk about it. I don't know these people from Adam. I'm like, girl, call me. So
wonderful.
So that sense of community has really helped me out a lot. But again, I can't lie to y'all. I still have bad days. I still have days where I'm scared. I'm nervous. Like I don't have it in me sometimes. The other thing I will say, being a professor, when I first found out, I was still working, you guys. And actually, I had my mammogram and I was back to work like maybe 2 days later.
Oh my God, how do you even concentrate with something like that? You know what I mean? Like,
but I had no choice because it was the end of the semester. And I had
crunch time.
I had no choice, and so I'm amazed at me for being able to do something like that. Like, wow, I just had surgery 2 days ago and now I'm grading like over 150 students. Like,
didn't even realize your own strength.
But so initially I had to think about whether or not I wanted to tell my students in my job. And then one day something said, Libba, just tell your students. So I had let them know that I may be gone for a little while, but I'll come back. And I said, guys, I just want to be honest with you. I've been going through a lot. And on this particular day, I'm going to have a double mastectomy. And when I tell y'all, my class said, can we pray for you?
Wow.
I had 3 of my students, we all got in a prayer circle.
Oh my goodness.
And when I tell you, they prayed like they were from Alabama, Mississippi.
Oh my goodness.
They lifted me up so much. Like that right there changed my whole journey because they prayed for me and they checked on me and they I don't know, it's just I love the dynamic that I have with my students. They all have my cell phone number, like, so for them to lift me up so much and be like, Professor, you got this, it was something that changed my life. It changed my journey. So yeah,
girl, I'm trying to hold it together over here.
I'm trying not to, but it's just that I'm not trying. It was so touching though. It was so touching, and that made the difference for me. It really did.
So for me, after surviving cancer, I changed kind of the way I lived and approached life. Like it was like, oh shoot, death is not around the corner. It's across the street looking at me. So I want to maximize each day and maximize the life that I have by filling it with things that I love and people I love and doing the things that, I wanted to have on my bucket list. I want to do these things, not just saying I'm going to be reckless and just go crazy, but I wanted to really maximize the time and make it a quality time because we don't know the quantity of it. Did you experience that at all?
So I'm a person who's had serious health issues my entire life. I was born with a rare heart disease. They didn't even think I would live past the age of 1, let alone 3.
Wow.
I'm a miracle baby. I'm a miracle in many, many ways.
Yes,
and
you are.
For me, I've faced death many times. And that is not anything that I'm afraid of. And maybe that's why I am so vibrant. That maybe that's why I am so extra.
Extra in a good way.
Extra, but I'm just saying maybe that's why, is because we have to appreciate the life that we have now, today.
Yeah.
And I definitely have a different perspective on things. The cancer, what it did was things that used to matter to me don't matter. Things that, such as like the type of car I want or the type of job I want or the people at work or what they think or how, whatever. Now I'm more about my peace, my serenity. What do I want to do?
My enjoyment.
Because the other thing is that it really this has made me think about, like, Libba, what do you want out of this world?
Right.
And what the hell are you doing about it? Mm-hmm. You know, and before I was so go. And now I'm chilling.
Yeah.
I've never done that before. Mm-hmm. I've always been that person, hard pressed,
girl,
keep going.
When I met you, you were like that.
Yeah,
you were like, this is what's going on in the city this weekend, y'all.
Yeah. but not even just with that. But it's like I'm always giving myself to other people. If you need help, girl, what you need help with?
Yeah.
Like I would always, unfortunately, volunteer, booked and busy, and I do it to myself. But I'm like, I'm helping, you know. So I would stay busy. But with that, cancer sat me on my ass, y'all. It made me think about my life. What do I want? What's going on? Also, it helped me observe everything else that was going on around me as well.
Who do I have in my life? Who do I need to let go out of my life?
Hello? And what do I have control over? And why do I want control over this? Or why do I even care?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, why? It doesn't matter to me. So a lot of things that I thought were important are trivial. And things that I love now, like I said, I'm in my little place and I just enjoy just looking at the sunset. You know,
you have great sunset photos. You do. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But those are the types of things that are important to me. My spirituality, my ability to heal, and I have to give myself credit for how far I've come.
Yes.
You know, because sometimes we forget. Like today, y'all were like, "You look cute." I was like, "I do," but sometimes you don't feel that way because I've been in survival mode for so long, that healing mode, and I'm just ready to elevate and be done with talking about that. This is just who I am as a person. You know, this Libba with the cancer.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like I'm labeling myself that way. Like, I don't feel like everybody's saying that, but
no.
But I'm wearing scars. You know what I mean? And so with that, sometimes I feel like I'm leading with it. It's weird, but it's true. And that's probably why I've been kind of like isolating myself, is because I just don't feel like talking about it sometimes.
But can we just pause and just cheers to you, though, real quick? Because that's so powerful what you just said, the clarity that you have, how you changed, and you just continue to have this, like, positive outlook, but also just like a change in perspective that seems to be better feeding you, right?
It is.
Mind, body, and soul. That's powerful.
It is. It definitely. Well, thank you. Cheers to that.
Yes.
Thank you for the clarity.
Yes.
Thank you for that, too. Thank you for stopping for that moment. Because I don't do that enough.
Absolutely. People go their whole life just go.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, what did I do?
And that's the thing, like, and that is our age group, I would say right about now, is that we're so used to going. And that it's like, well, where are you really going? What are you doing?
That part.
Why are you doing all of that?
Right. Instead of chasing and pursuing that whatever status or job or whatever, how are you really filling your day to say, you know what? This was a good day. This I'm surrounded by the people I love. I'm doing the things that I love. I'm going where I love. Like, if you love sunsets, I'm going to watch a sunset. I love an ocean. I'm going to the island. You know what I mean? Like, filling your day with things that matter the most, not your car, not your job.
Yeah, releasing keeping up with the Joneses, releasing that FOMO, releasing that I need to be busy to feel value.
FOMO, and I hate to admit it, but I think I did have a little bit of FOMO before, you know, but that's the thing. And I also had to eliminate a lot of people too. Yeah. Because, or not eliminate so much, but I had to create like I don't want to say like not border. What is it?
Boundaries.
A boundary. But I had to provide like a bit of a boundary for myself, because people still have this expectation of me. Like they come to me for advice. I give the best advice. I do. I miss my calling.
I can see that. I can see that.
Girl, I get some good old advice. But I needed to preserve me. Like, I just didn't have that energy to continue to give. And so, and once I started recognizing, like, yo, that is drama right there. I don't need that level of toxicity in my life. Y'all can be right on over there. I'm good, you know. And so it's good to learn, like, what is important to you and what do you want. And still love the people over there, but just like, I'm good. I'll see y'all when I see y'all, but, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the older we get, we realize that, these so-called friends aren't all made the same. And that's okay. I think that's the part that I'm like, sometimes I'd be disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, dang. Like, I really
you can't get another Sabrina. You're the only Sabrina, honey.
You
That's
see?
the thing.
Yeah. And I was like, I can't be disappointed that this friendship isn't panning out the way that I had hoped, or that this person had let me down, or that, hey, your lifestyle necessarily isn't complimentary to mine. I'm not going to be in them streets like that, or whatever. Like, I would be sad when the friendship wouldn't be able to like last or overcome some of those changes or whatever, or people let me down. Yeah. But now I feel like as I get on, I'm like, you know what? It is what it is.
I have a very small circle of friends. I'm very careful in terms of labeling somebody a friend. Mm-hmm. My love is good, honey. Like if I'm your friend, you are set for life. And I'm not saying that to be conceited or anything like that. I'm just very certain of myself and the great support that I am. And so, but I also realize that not everyone is like me. I'm an over and a beyonder, honey. I'm an overachiever. I was born that way. And so I go above and beyond.
You've been defying the odds since you've been a baby.
Hello.
Come on.
Hey, you gotta say that. Yes. So, but with that being said, I'm an oddity, and I know that not everyone is going to go above and beyond for somebody else, or not everyone's going to feel comfortable with the level of love that you give. And a lot of people will question your genuine, you being genuine. I think that even with Ready to Love, it's interesting. That damn Facebook group. Ooh. It's so funny because
are you on it?
I had joined it before I was on the show. Okay, so just curious, right? But with that, I just remember because I was the first woman eliminated, how they were like, Libba is everywhere. Like I've never seen anybody who wants to have 5 minutes of fame more than her. And I'm like, I am just out here living my best life.
Nothing to do with Ready to Love.
It has nothing to do with Ready to Love, but the connection that I have with these other people, and the fact that we are all enjoying this summer, or this fall or this year, right? But I think that oftentimes we get prejudged, and the expectation is that, she thinks, why is she with everybody when she was like the first person eliminated? And it's like, y'all are crazy. Like we're in this together.
Exactly.
So I don't know where I was going with that, but
and it also doesn't matter if you left, early or late. Like this is a TV show. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like
and honestly, it's a faint memory. Yeah. Like
I forget sometimes. Yeah. That's how I know people. I'm like, I forget.
Right. I even now people stare at me and I'm like, what the hell are you looking at? But they're like, were you? Yes. But I'm saying it's a faint memory. Like no one's checking for it. No one really
We're so many seasons past that anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter, but it's just very interesting. But what I was going to say is in terms of friendships, even there, I think there were some expectations that everyone's going to be best friends. And then, you're going to treat me like my best friend from kindergarten. Like, no, we just met each other, so there's no way possible for us to have like that same level of friendship that I have with someone that I've been knowing for 40 years or so. Like, we're getting to know one another. We
had the opposite. For real, our cast was so like dysfunctional and divided that it was like, I think a lot of people left like, I'll talk to whoever I talk to, and the rest of y'all, we good.
Kick rocks, right?
Because Walter told me y'all still in a group chat together.
Girl, and and Walter is one of my close friends. Like, I love Walter, but it's like,
group chat.
That's girl, we just was on a group chat this morning. Like, but that's the thing. Like, I love them and they love us. But a lot of times, people won't understand that dynamic if you're outside of it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we outside of it because we don't have that dynamic.
I mean, I love it for y'all.
Yeah.
but again, and I listen, but I'm a different kind of person. Like, I have love for each and every one of them. That doesn't necessarily mean they got love for me, but it's just, I love the fact that we were all in this together.
We all trauma bonded together.
Yeah. It was a special time. It was a crazy time, but it was a moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And we did maintain some friendships with some of our cast.
Right, exactly. Like, it worked out the way that it was supposed to.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty certain I would not have met y'all if it wasn't for the show. And I'm going to be grateful for the network that is Exposed Me me too. That's something else I wanted out of it, coming out of a long-term relationship where so much of your community is tied to that person, or you've built with that person. To build something outside of that person, I was very grateful for. So I gotta give to Ready Love.
Yeah, shout out to Ready to Love. Right. Clearly we were ready.
Right. Absolutely. So is there anything that you would share? I hate to go just to put a bow on the cancer thing, a pink bow. Is there anything you would share with people, any woman that is going through it now? Like, you're going through it now, you are almost on the other side of it. What advice would you give with someone that's going through it?
You are not alone.
About to play that Michael Jackson song.
Yeah, you are not alone. And here's the thing. You got this. Don't listen to outside noise. Concentrate on you and your health. One of the things that I always say is focus on what you want opposed to what you don't want. So you can't think like, oh, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do chemo, or I don't want to do this. Don't worry about that part. Think about what you want to do on the other side of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and the other thing is that think about the fact that you caught it and that you're going to get rid of it. Do not panic. And this is the advice that I give people. Get information and then make a decision. Get information and then act. You can't get upset about something that you don't know about. And once you get that information, deal with it.
Yeah.
Whatever way that looks like.
Don't push it off. Don't say, all right, I'll deal with it later. No.
Deal with it. And you're going to have to face that fear. Because that is a lot of... So it's okay for you to be afraid. But you got to tap into it and do what you need to do.
Yeah.
And know that this too shall pass.
This too shall pass.
And you will be a much better person for it. It's going to be hard. But you'll be amazed at how... what a great warrior you are.
That's always say, you mentioned your scars. Those aren't scars. They're war wounds. They're also, I say my scars are kind of like badges of honor, medals of honor type thing. Like, this is my award that I got for beating it. You know what I mean? So.
Well, and then scars is a reminder of how much you've healed. So that's the other part of it, is that I'm okay with saying it is a scar. Because my scar, it's
how much
inches.
You've overcome.
Yeah, it's like it's a testimony of what I've overcome.
You can't have a testimony if you weren't tested.
Hello?
Say it.
And I'm a professor.
Hey.
You passed that test.
I administer the test sometimes. I be grading them, checking them, fact finding, all that. But yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
So are we ready for game time?
Yeah, let's do it. Wait, let me get a sip first.
Yeah, hold on, y'all. So we're going to play our game of this or that. We've played it before on the show. We're going to bring it back because we also use this as a way to kind of get to know you a little bit more, kind of figure out where your head is at. So we're going to give you some items, real rapid fire.
Yes.
Pick this or that. Okay?
Okay.
You ready? All right. Drum.
And if you take too long, you got to take a sip.
We always want a reason to drink. So.
Okay, that's fine. We got plenty of it. All right, let's
go. Okay. Drums or flats?
Drums.
Okay. Crab cakes or crab legs? We're talking about Maryland.
I'm allergic, so neither.
Really?
It'll kill me. Yeah.
Oh,
EpiPen.
So sorry for you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wine or liquor?
I like liquor.
Ooh.
I should have had you some liquor then.
I like wine too.
What's your liquor of choice?
I like fruity, pretty drinks. I don't even know.
Okay. Fruity and pretty. Okay.
It's sweet. I love it.
Okay. Are you a bath girl or a shower girl?
Shower.
Okay. A red lip or a nude lip? I mean, you're rocking the red.
I'm a both.
Taking a while, girl. I'm about to get you to sit.
Look, both hands.
I'm about to get you to sit.
I like red. I mean, it depends on the occasion. But I'm a red girl.
Okay.
It looks good on me.
Dress up or dress down?
So a lot of people think my dress down is up, so I'm gonna just say up.
Okay,
flex.
New York or LA fashion?
New York for sure.
Okay. Beyonce or Rihanna?
Rihanna.
Ooh, she Beehive. You know what I'm saying? She Beehive.
I'm going to try not to sting you now.
No, I'm gonna say Rihanna for a few reasons. I love her spirit. Like, I seen her in person. It's something about her light that I appreciate. I'm sorry, Beyonce.
I'm gonna stop asking now. You go.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I gotta stop that. But did you see her recent performance for that?
And I love that her body is real and that she has not lost all of her weight. Yeah, I love that.
I don't even care about that. I'm talking about the effort. I was like, is that what $5 million gets you? Because it didn't really seem like she was really trying.
But then some people were saying that performance was better than the Super Bowl performance.
She was pregnant at the Super Bowl.
She had the excuse.
Honestly, though, no offense, Rihanna, I didn't watch either one. I just saw the highlights on Insta and TikTok. But I will say I appreciate Rihanna. I appreciate Beyonce's artistry, but I'm Team Riri.
Okay. I love them both. I love Rihanna's edge in fashion. Yeah. I just think it's amazing. I think in terms of performance for me, it's definitely Beyonce.
Oh, yeah, the work ethic.
You know what I'm saying? The work ethic and all, and just the production value. It's just like on a different level.
Well, it's sheer entertainment. I love both of them. So I would say big up to both of them. But if I had to choose, I think I'm more on a Rihanna. She just seems more real and more accessible and attainable to me. Like, I think Beyonce is so buttoned up.
I think she's guarded.
Oh, absolutely.
I think she comes from I have my private life and this is my public life.
She just seems like a perfectionist to me. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I see the perfectionist in her, so I would wonder if she could put her hair down and just have fun. Yeah. You know, but I have much respect for Beyonce. Like, I'm not even, if I had to choose, I would choose both.
Look at the Beehive member being like,
don't come sting me. I'm allergic to bees, and I'm not saying anything bad about Beyonce. They just posed the question, Rihanna or Beyonce. I'm going with Riri.
We set you up, sorry.
Sorry, I'm done asking now.
Your turn. Don't be like that, girl.
I feel like I know the answer to this, but Louis or Gucci?
I'm Louis.
I knew it. Yeah. Jodeci or Drew Hill?
Jodeci.
Okay. Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle?
Dave.
Real Housewives of Atlanta or Real Housewives of Potomac?
ATL.
Oh. Okay. BBL or breast job?
Breast job. Hey. They say the BBL smell. Have y'all been saying that? That's been trending.
Smell like what?
Like booty?
Like sewer water. That's what I heard. That's what. Sorry, they said it smelled like mop water. I don't know. It's trending right now. BBL smell. Yeah, let's go on with that boob job.
Okay. Not the smell though. Okay, I feel like I know this one too based off what you said. Netflix and chill or night on the town?
Netflix and chill.
Morning sex or evening sex?
Oh, we're getting nasty.
I want both. Give me in the afternoon too.
She greedy. Like, afternoon delight.
Girl, have you sip? Because that was not enough.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so I'll take it.
You'll take it.
She said yes.
Yes, all of it. Yes, and then some. Okay. Spit or swallow?
Oh, that was hilarious. All right.
I'm a professor.
Okay. Come on. Keep it cute. Keep it cute. So, Libba, tell everybody what you got on. I mean, what you got going on. Like, where they can find you. Like,
so I am. I don't have any projects or anything like that I'm working on, honestly. But you all can feel free to follow me on TikTok, Libba Nation, Libba Nation. But I'm just living life. Honestly, right now, I'm just concentrating on my healing.
Absolutely.
And just living my best life. So I don't really have much projects. The project is Libba.
Yes.
The project is Libba. It's life. It's living.
You know, it's giving.
It's giving life, hun.
Yes.
It's giving
and
abundance.
Living your best life.
Living my best life. And just living a graceful life. You know, I used to beat myself up so bad. And so I've made a conscious decision just to be better to myself. You know, cancer beat me enough.
Yes, be nicer to my friend, please.
Thank you.
Be nicer to my friend, please.
Okay. I appreciate that. You understand? I appreciate that.
Seriously.
Sometimes I need friends to be like, be nice to my friend. Can you please?
Be nice to my friend.
Like, I need those accountability partners because sometimes I be tripping. You know, you think about like your problems and woe is me and, you know, trying to get motivated. Sometimes it's hard.
But you've been through so much. I feel like you've earned the right to slow down and concentrate on yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I do. Because I totally agree. I think I feel like there needs to be more travel in my life. I feel like there needs to be more decadence.
Oh, that was the one I think I missed over. Did I say it was supposed to be travel or therapy?
Oh, I'm both.
I'm both. Travel is therapy.
Yeah, I both got a drink. That wasn't
fine.
That wasn't the
Don't threaten me with a good time.
But Libba, I really have to thank you so much for joining us. Your energy, your spirit, your testimony. It's just been amazing, amazing, amazing. I've really enjoyed having you on the show.
I've enjoyed being here, and thank you so much for having me. I think this is a fantastic show. I'm excited for your future, and I'll be happy to come back if you'd like me to.
Yes. Would love to have you back.
We're going to have you reappearance. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and give us some feedback. What do you want to hear about? Talk to us. Let us know what you like, what you dislike, and what you want to see more of on the Keep It Cute show. So we hope you have a great week. Continue to keep it cute, and we'll see y'all next time.
See you next time.
Bye.